welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, karibu. If you're an old subscriber, thanks and thank you again. So today I'm gonna be sharing a little bit of a story. I've had a couple of people ask me about this, and I thought, I'm just gonna do a video about it. And yeah. So today I'm wearing this. I graduated yesterday, and I feel like I'm a proud mama. I'm gonna just say that and put it out there. I'm very proud of myself. I got to do this. I've always wanted to go back to school, and I remember at the time I got pregnant, I was like thinking to myself, I was like, okay, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to go back to school now that I'm a mom. My focus is only on the baby, but as time went by, I got to realize that even having a baby, that shouldn't stop me from wanting to achieve my dreams, or that shouldn't stop me from dreaming and knowing that I can better myself. And in bettering myself, I'm showing my daughter something good. I'm proud of where I am at this point in my life. I'm married, I'm going to school, I'm a mom, and I'm doing this right now. So yeah, it's something that it's really close to my heart, and I feel so lucky to be able to do this. I thank God for giving me the grace to do this, because it's not been easy, but through his grace, through just everything, I thank God. I also thank God for my husband, because he's been really supportive, and just taking care of baby, just doing things around the house while I'm studying or going to class. It's been rough couple of months, but I thank God it's now over, and I'll be starting more classes in summer, so I'm really looking forward to that. So to all mamas out there, I just want to encourage you and tell you can do it. And having a child is not the end of you, and having a child should be a motivation for you to better yourself and do greater things in your life. And when you look at that child, you should see, you wanted that child to see a better you, like bettering yourself, because at the same time when you're bettering yourself, you're teaching them a valuable lesson. And I think that is very important for any kid out there, and that's what they want to see. So without further ado, we're gonna get into today's video. Just had to say that maybe somebody needed to hear that. So I've had some people ask me how expensive it is to have a baby in America, and just about everything about it. So I'm gonna start off by, there's a video that I did about how I found out I was pregnant, and at the end of the video I explained how I got to get my insurance. So but at the time that I got pregnant with my baby, I didn't have insurance, because the job I was working, I had to work for I think a few more months for me to qualify to get insurance of the job. So I didn't have any insurance, and so what I did, I called the state department, well, DHS, and just explain the situation, how much you make, where you calling them. So I talked to a lady, and I explained like what had gone on. And I think at that time I was calling, I was about 8 weeks pregnant or less, because I found out really early in my pregnancy that I was pregnant. So I called them and I explained my situation, that I had just found out that I was pregnant and I didn't have insurance, and basically that. But prior to me calling them, I had called the hospital, because I found out, so I had to call the hospital to schedule for an appointment to get everything checked out and to start my clinics. So I called the hospital where I was living at, and they told me so the receptionist, it's so funny, like the first thing people ask you here when you call the hospital is, do you have insurance? So I was like, no, I don't have insurance. So what am I supposed to do? And that she was like, okay, if you don't have insurance, this is what's gonna happen. You begin schedule for your 8 weeks appointment, your first appointment, and in that appointment you need to bring $2,000. I was like, okay, $2,000. I don't have that amount of money, and it just didn't make sense. Like it was a no, no sense. It was a lot of money at that point when they told me that when I was on the call. I was like, and so what do you suggest that I do? Because I don't have that amount of money and I need to get my clinics going. So she told me to call DHS and get state insurance. So that's what I did. I called and I talked to a really nice lady and I explained my situation, that I had confirmed that I was pregnant, but I needed to schedule for my 8 weeks checkup. So she was like, okay, this is what we can. This is the information that I need from you: your names, your date of birth, your social security, where you live, blah blah blah, and all that. So she was writing them down somewhere, and then she asked me how much I was making at that time when I was pregnant, and I, just checked my pay stubs, and I told her all that. So afterwards, well, it was a really long call. I think it was like an hour. It was really long. I had to give like history, my background history, any diseases, any sorts of anything. So we talked there for quite a while, and then she told me that I qualified and that I can go ahead and schedule for an appointment, and that's what I did. So an insurance card usually has a number somewhere. So I called the hospital, scheduled an appointment for my first appointment, and I got to go to my first appointment. And if the first appointment, the 8 weeks of pregnancy checkup, it's not like they don't do a whole lot for me to have paid $2,000, because it's not a lot. And because the only thing that I did when I went there was confirm if I'm really pregnant, just a urine test. No, they did a blood test and an ultrasound. That was it, to hear if the heartbeat is there. And for me, that costing $2,000 was too much. So it can be really, really expensive. Medical can be very expensive here, super duper expensive if you don't have insurance. So I didn't end up paying the $2,000. I got insurance and I used that, and I went for my first appointment to the last one. Still, I had my baby, and the insurance that I got through the state was really good because it covered everything. I went to a really good hospital. I went to a childbirth center actually, which was really, really fancy, a fancy place. So that was good. And after baby was born, I still continued to have the insurance for a little bit longer. I don't know if that's how it usually is or it's because of Corona, but they extended mine. Because I remember after baby, I had something that was growing on my hand. It got covered by the insurance, went for surgery. It got removed with that insurance. And I got teeth issues at that point when I was pregnant, and ended up getting them pulled out. So 2 molars. So, and the other thing that is very, very expensive here is dental. It's super expensive. I don't think I can afford it. It's so expensive. So that got covered, and I got really got so lucky that happened. But I know I remember talking to someone, and they told me that the state insurance stops covering for you after you have your baby, after you have your child. And for me, it covered me after baby was born, I think for 6 months. Or actually they don't stop after you have the baby. It's the 6-week checkup, because at that point, that's when you discuss the birth control you want to use and all stuff, and that covers it. And I think that's the end of it. But for me, it went all I stayed with it for quite a while because of Corona and everything, and I was so happy that happened. So that was really good. And so I think the issue or why some people think that it's very expensive is if you don't have insurance, you're gonna pay a whole lot of money to get your checkups, to get anything, to get the prenatals. But the good thing about the state insurance, it covered all that for me. And it depends with how much you qualify. Not how much you qualify, but the amount of money you earn, and they give that into consideration, or they put that into consideration. And then after so at that around the time that I was pregnant, I also discovered there was a WIC program, WIC. So the it stands for women and in women, infants, and children. So children below the age of 5. So, and it covers women. So when you're pregnant, you can apply for that. It's in all states, I believe. And you just call them, tell them you're pregnant, and they give you the benefits that it depends on whichever state you're in, and they give you stuff. Because I remember when I was pregnant, I got 3 or 5 gallons of milk for a month. I got bread, cheese, 2 dozens of eggs, yogurt, I think tuna, all those. And then after baby is born, after 6 months, when you start weaning off the baby, they add more stuff to it. So they give you like the food, baby foods, a lot of them. But since I prefer cooking for her, I don't really use those. I only use those for like when you're traveling, because it's pre-packed. And so they also continue giving you like the other things. So like the 5 gallons of milk, cheese, 2 dozens of eggs, formula if you plan to use formula instead of breastfeeding, or both, bread, tuna, baby cereal, baby meats. They so that, to me, if you don't have money, that is like enough food to last a baby for like the whole month, because the containers, the baby food is usually 256 ounces. So that's a lot of food, a whole bunch of food. And they also give you 8 ounces, like 3 packs of 8 ounces of cereal. So that's a whole lot of food to personally, I think it's a lot of food to someone who is not able to like cook for their child, or who working moms who don't have time to like cook. They can use those. And it's because at the time that it's that food is so expensive in the store. I went to check the other day, and it's super duper expensive if you don't have the card. So having a baby can be really, really expensive if you do not have somebody who's telling you some of the things you can go around and do. And yeah, I think that's about it. And the other thing, well, I'm saying this because that's what I've done, and my daughter now is 9. So I don't know much about childcare, but people have told me it can be really, really expensive. So in general, what I can say for me, or like for the period of time that I've been a mom, it's been not expensive, because I didn't pay for the hospital. So the hospital was free, and I got food for her. That was really good. The only thing that I was like expensive, or something that was expensive, was like the diapers, clothes, because I outgrow the clothes so much. Nursery, preparing a nursery for baby, because you want the baby to later in life sleep in their own room and have their own stuff. But other than that, I think that's about it. That's how much it cost. It's not a bad thing. And the other good thing about America is the schools are free, so I don't have to worry about school fees. So I'm so happy. I'm so like I thank God for that. And yeah, and I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else. So I think this concludes this video. Until the next one, choose.